can just take it out of the wholesale.
All right, y'all ready at the jail?
We're ready, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is May the 21st, 2023. The time is 11:01 a.m. This is Clayton County Magistrate Court first appearance. I'm Judge Daniel Nagel. I'm going to go over some preliminary information with you, so please pay attention so that way we can keep everything moving quickly and you all can get the information that you need to get out as quickly as possible. All right. So first and foremost, I want to let you know that this is a first appearance hearing, which means it is an informative hearing. It is not an evidentiary hearing. What that means is I'm going to inform you of certain things. This is not a hearing where you are going to be presenting evidence. There aren't going to be any witnesses. There aren't going to be any documentation. There aren't going to be any statements about the facts and circumstances of your case. So do yourself a favor. Do everyone who's here a favor and do me a favor. Don't talk about the facts of your case, okay? Now's not the time to fight the charges. Don't tell me why you were wrongly arrested. Don't tell me why you didn't do it. Don't tell me what your defense is going to be. Save that for an attorney who can best strategize with you on how to address your charges, okay? There will come a time for that. Now is not that time. If you start talking about the facts of your case, I'm going to cut you off. Okay, that's for your own good. This is being recorded and it's also being live streamed over the internet. So the DA's office, the solicitor's office, or law enforcement can go back and watch what you say and prepare to counteract that accordingly. So don't talk about your case. That's why you're going to get a lawyer. All right. The things I'm now going to inform you of, I'm going to tell you whether you are being charged with a misdemeanor or a felony. I'm going to let you know what your next court date is. Okay, your next court date is called a preliminary hearing. That is an evidentiary hearing where you can present evidence or make the state present evidence against you. Okay, if you bond out of jail today, you will not have a preliminary hearing. Your case will automatically be sent to the DA's office if there's any felonies, or if they're just misdemeanors, it will be sent to the solicitor's office. If you're charged with only misdemeanors, your preliminary hearing is going to be on June the 13th. If you're charged with only felonies or misdemeanors and felonies, your next court date is June the 14th. But again, if you bond out, you do not have to appear for that particular court date. You'll just need to make sure that your information is good and you look out in the mail for your court date after that, which will be your arraignment. Okay. I'm also going to let you know what your bond is if a bond is being set in your case. On top of letting you know what your bond is, some bonds carry special conditions. The most common types of special conditions are a stay away from a certain person. If you were told to stay away from a person, that means that you cannot contact them directly, indirectly, via social media, WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, Kik, whatever creative way that you think that you can talk to this person, don't. If you're told to stay away from them, they do not exist in your world until your case is resolved or your bond conditions are modified. If you violate that, you not only run the risk of picking up new charges, but also the bond on these charges being revoked, and then you find yourself in the Clayton County Jail with no way to get out. So if you're told to stay away from somebody and to not have any contact with them, don't do it. Another type of special condition is to stay away from a certain location. If you're told to stay away from a certain location, you can go anywhere in the world except there. Somebody doesn't want you there, or it's bad for you to go there because there's trouble that is there for you, or you just can't be trusted to go there because it causes trouble for someone else. Okay, that could be a business or it could be a residence. So just like a stay away from someone else, if you go back to that location, you're risking picking up more charges and getting your bond revoked. Now, if it's a place where you reside, we will talk about how you can get your belongings legally. What I will do is notate in your bond paperwork that you can go get your stuff, but you have to do it through the sheriff's department. They know what they're doing there. They will go with you. They will make sure that no harm comes to you and no harm comes to anyone else there. I have a duty to protect yourself and members of the community at large. So if it's a residence where you need to get your stuff, we'll talk about that, but just know that you can't just show up with a piece of paper and say, well, the judge said I can come get my stuff. You have to do it in the right way, okay? Also, I'm going to ask if you want to hire your own attorney or if you want to be represented by a court-appointed attorney. If you want to hire your attorney, that's fine. Just let me know. You also have the option to represent yourself. However, that is not advisable, okay? If you want to be considered for a court-appointed attorney, all of you had the opportunity to fill out the paperwork. Hopefully you did so. If you didn't, I can only assume that you want to represent yourself or that you have hired or are going to hire an attorney. I have to ask you questions. And again, this is being live streamed as well as being recorded. So if you didn't fill out your paperwork and you want to have be considered for a court-appointed attorney, I'm going to have to ask you some potentially very personable questions. So that's why it was important for you to do that before we went live. Okay. At the very end, I will ask if you have any questions. Okay. Now your questions should be limited to: what are my charges? What is my bond? Do I have any special conditions? When is my next court date? Because any on that, I'm not going to be able to answer for you. Now, some of the most common types of questions I get is, well, how do I go through a bonding company? I cannot assist you because I can't represent you, right? But what I will tell you is that I've practiced law for over 10 years in this area, and bonding companies typically charge somewhere between 10 and 20% of whatever your bond is. So for example, because this is easy math, if your bond is $1,000, a bonding company is going to charge somewhere between 10 and 20%. Now they may have some fees and other things associated with it. I don't know. And it's not the law that says they have to charge 10 to 20%. They can charge whatever, but I'm just giving you my experience as a lawyer in this area for the past decade. Okay. Other than that, I don't have any other useful information that's going to help you determine the bonding situation and the logistics of doing that. Okay. So don't ask me, do I have to be this age? Do I have to live here? Do I have to do this? I don't know. And I can't help you anyway. Okay. And then the other most common type of question I get is signature bond or OR bond. Don't ask me for that. I have already gone through everyone's case. I've already considered all the facts and circumstances of it. Okay. And I have already come to what I believe is a reasonable bond for each person based on their particular facts, their particular circumstances, as well as making sure that I've been consistent not only with you, but everyone that I've reviewed their bonds for in the past and what I will do in the future. Okay. So please don't ask me for that, because I'm going to immediately cut you off, because I'm going to say, I've already told you, don't ask that. Okay. Also, some of you may be having some or all of your charges dismissed. If I dismiss a charge here, it's because there was just a lack of evidence. It may have been oversight by law enforcement, or there really may not be enough evidence against you, in my opinion. Okay. That does not mean that they can't go back and submit evidence, more evidence, to try to get those charges brought back. Okay. The statute of limitation on misdemeanors is, I believe it's 2 years. And for most felonies, it's 4 years. Okay. Now, I'm not going to tell anyone to reinvestigate the case. It's none of my business, but just know that could potentially happen. I don't know how often it does happen or how often it doesn't happen. But some of you may have some or all of your charges dismissed. And as long as you do not have anything holding you, then you'll be free to go once the paperwork gets processed. And that leads me to the last most common type of question I get is to take, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. Just know that everyone at the jail, everyone on the court staff is working as quickly as possible to get through everyone's paperwork. Okay. So we started about 10 minutes ago. I'm going to speak to each person individually, and on the back end, I will get this done as quickly as possible. But just make sure that you're paying attention when you're speaking, because we're on Zoom, there may be a little bit of a delay. So wait for me to finish speaking, wait about 1 second, and then you speak, and I'll do the same. That way we're not talking over each other. Some of you may have coverings on your face. If that's the case, that's fine. Just make sure that you speak loudly and clearly so that I can understand what you're saying or asking of me, and I will make sure that I speak in a clear way so you understand what I am saying to you. All right. Now, before we begin, I just need everyone to participate by raising their right hand, please. All right. Do you swear or affirm that the statements that you shall make shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You can say, I do. All right. You can put your hands down, and then we'll start with the female side first.
He said he gonna stop. Okay, Gary, everybody else.
All right. Okay, hold on 1 second. Just a lot of background noise behind you, so give me just a second once I get out. Yeah. All right. Give me your name one more time.
Ariel Garris.
Okay, Miss Garris, thank you. I can understand you now. All right, Miss Garris, you are charged with 1 misdemeanor count of loitering or prowling. The bond is going to be $1,000. 1 felony count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act. The bond is $3,000. That's on warrant 844. 1 violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act. Also a felony, that's on warrant 845. The bond is $3,000. And then 1 looks like misdemeanor count of theft of mislaid or lost property. The bond is $2,000. 6, 7, 8, 9. So your total bond is $9,000. Okay. Are you going to be able to make that?
You got your people on it? Speak up, ma'am.
No.
They are ready. We're ready.
Well, your next court date is going to be on June the 14th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Okay. You do have the right to hire your own attorney, or you can be considered for court-appointed counsel. And it said on your paper that you needed assistance. Do you want to hire your own attorney, or do you want to be considered for court-appointed attorney? Okay. Just a moment.
Don't do it. She done?
No. All right. Let's see. Are you currently employed? You have to say verbally yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. And approximately how much money do you make?
Not very. Not very.
Okay. Would you say more or less than $2,000 a month?
Less.
Okay. All right. Are you legally married? Do you have any children?
Speak.
Remember, you have to give a verbal yes or no, okay? How many of your children are under 18? How many?
Both of them are.
Okay. So 2?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever served in the United States military?
No.
All right. I'm going to sign for you saying that you agreed on Zoom that you want to be considered for court-appointed counsel. And so I'm going to do that. All right. Do you have any questions about your case? Okay, all right, good luck to you, man.
Yeah. Next. We'll switch that around.
All right, what's your name?
Leticia Hunter.
All right, give me just a moment. All right, Ms. Hunter. Let's see here. You were charged with no insurance and then possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Both of them are misdemeanors. Your total bond, well, the insurance is $1,000. The misdemeanor marijuana charge is $1,500. So your total bond is $2,500. Okay. Your next court date is going to be on June the 13th, but if you bond out, you don't have to appear for that court date. Okay.
Okay.
Are you going to be able to make that?
Well, I gotta pay $2,000.
Well, it's typically 10 to 20%. So
Okay. Well, the bond that I got earlier, it was 3,000. Okay, yeah. My sister's supposed to be on her way.
Okay, that's fine. Good job. All right. So your next court, well, if you bond out, just be on the lookout for in the mail for your next court date. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. Do you want to be considered for a court appointed attorney, or do you want to hire your own attorney?
Now you can give me an attorney.
Okay. All right, I will do that. Do you have any questions?
So you said, so do I have to pay the whole 2,000 or just 10%?
No. There's two ways. There's two ways to do it. Either you pay the whole thing through the sheriff's department, or if you go through a bonding company, it's somewhere between 10 and 20%. Okay.
All right. So my next question, if I pay the 10 or 20%, do I still have to go to court?
Yes, you go to court until your case is completely resolved.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right. Good luck to you.
Next.
All right. What's your name?
Jasmine Norwood.
Okay. Give me just a second, Miss Norwood. All right, Miss Norwood, you are charged with one count of misdemeanor terroristic threats. I am going to set a bond at $2,000. You do have a special condition of your bond to not have any contact with Melvin Bell. Who is that to you?
A friend. He actually stayed like 3 houses down though.
I got you. That's fine. I mean, look, just don't go where he is. I mean, your house, if y'all don't live together, then, don't go to his house.
Okay.
But just make sure that you stay away from him until either your case is resolved or the bond conditions change. Okay. So he doesn't exist in your world. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Very good. I don't want nothing bad to happen to you. And I don't want nothing bad to happen to him. Remember what I said earlier about violating your bond. Okay.
Okay.
Now your next court date is going to be on June the 13th. But when you bond out, you don't have to appear for that court date. You'll just be on the lookout for another court date in the mail. Okay. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed attorney. What do you want to do?
Court appointed.
Okay. All right, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions about your case?
No.
Okay, all right, Ms. Norwood, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Next. Say your name.
Hi, it's Joan Paris Leon.
Okay, Miss Paris Leon, give me just a moment. Now, I understand this incident involves a couple of your sons, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I'm dismissing the case against you, okay?
Yes.
It looks like, you know, you got involved in some type of way. Maybe you were doing something you knew, maybe you were doing something you didn't. I don't know. I don't have enough, but you know, hopefully this is kind of a learning lesson for you more than anything else. You know, you appear to be, at least from what I've gathered, trying to do something for your kids. And I understand that. I'm a parent, I have young children. But sometimes you can't save them. Okay.
True.
So you just do the best job that you can be as a mom, and hopefully they you know, take after you and do what they should do. But you know, kids do what they're going to do, and they don't listen to their parents all the time. But either way, I'm dismissing this case against you. Okay, so as long as you don't have anything else going on, then you'll be good to go. Just give us some time and let us process all the paperwork. Okay.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Don't come back. All right.
No, I promise.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you.
Good luck to you. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Come on.
Okay. What's your name?
Beyonce.
All right. Got you. All right, ma'am. You were charged with looks like misdemeanor, simple assault. I am going to set a bond of $1,000. One misdemeanor count of disorderly conduct, I'm going to set a bond of $1,500. And then one misdemeanor count of disruption of operation of a public school, I am going to set a bond of $1,500. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So your total bond is $4,000. Okay. Is school still going on, or are they done? Like, is your child still in school?
My son, when the incident happened, it was like the 19th, and my son got suspended, and we have not been back to the school or whatever.
Okay. Give me just a second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, you don't have any reason to be going back to the
I
school.
just need to drop off his tablet. I just didn't drop it off because I know I can't go on the property.
Get somebody else to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, let somebody else do that for you, because I'm going to put, don't return back to the school. I don't necessarily think you would do anything out of pocket, but just to make sure, I'm going to put it in here. And you can have someone else do that for you. I don't want them to say that you're stealing things and things like that. So just make sure that you have somebody else. If there's anything that you need to take back there, make sure that someone else does it for you. Okay. Your next court date is on June the 13th, but if you bond out, you do not have to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire an attorney or be considered for court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
A court-appointed.
Okay. All right. All right, Ms. Seats, do you have any questions about your case?
Would I get a copy of those 3 charges? Because I can't even say I want to say, because before I left the school.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Listen to me, okay? I'm sure you have a lot to say and you have a defense. Talk to your lawyer about that. If you want to get a copy of the charges, you can go to the courthouse and get a copy of the warrants. But honestly, they're going to have to turn it over to your attorney, so you'll get one. My suggestion would be is just, look, take a deep breath, wait till this plays out, right? I know it's frustrating probably, and you want things to move very quickly, but sometimes these things just take time. So just let the process play out. Don't try to do anything. Let the lawyers work. That's why we went to law school. Let us do our job. Okay.
All right.
All right. I'm going to grant your request for a court-appointed attorney. Do you have any other questions?
No.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, ma'am. Please don't come back.
Oh, I promise I won't.
All right.
Next, come.
All right. What's your name?
Octavia White.
Okay, hold on just a second.
Stop at this light right there. This light.
Be a white. Okay, well, you're probably not used to it, but just remember, I have to get a verbal yes or a verbal no instead of this or this, okay? Oh, I've got your paperwork, the very last one. All right, Miss White.
Five and six, the number 5 and 6. Let's see what other it is.
Let's see here. Miss White, you're charged with 1 count. Oh, I remember this. You're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. It's a misdemeanor. I am going to set a bond at $500. That's pretty much the lowest I can go. Okay. Also, do not return back to that business location. You don't work there or anything, do you?
No, sir.
Remember you? Okay, there we go. All right. So just don't go back there until your case is done with or the bond conditions are changed. All right. Your next court date is going to be on June the 13th, but if you bond out, you don't have to appear for that particular court date. They'll send you another one in the mail. Okay. You have the right to hire your own attorney or to be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I don't even know what you're saying, sir. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh, okay. So basically, because you've been charged with a crime, right? A misdemeanor, the maximum penalty is $1,000 fine and or 12 months in custody. Okay. So you have the right to a lawyer. You can either say, hey, I want to go and find my own lawyer, and then you go find a lawyer and you pay them and they'll represent you. Okay. I don't know who you want to find or whatever and how much you pay. That's your business. Or you can say, hey, I would like a court-appointed attorney, or also known as a public defender, and I'll look at your application. And if you qualify, then I will appoint an attorney for you and it doesn't cost you anything. So do you want me to consider you for a court-appointed attorney, or do you want to go find your own lawyer?
The court attorney.
Okay. Let me see something. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're still very, very young, Miss White. Are you in school or are you working full time, or what's going on?
I'm supposed to be graduating Friday.
Oh, when? This coming Friday?
Yeah.
Okay. From where?
Bayshon High School.
Okay. Oh. All right, very good. And it says here that you just started a job, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, just like I told the last person, just let this play out. Let the lawyer do their thing, let them work, and don't get yourself in any more trouble. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. All right. Don't let me see you back here again.
Right there, you can
All right. Any other females?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Very good. Just a second, sir. All right. What's your name?
It's Eddie Adams.
Okay. You said, I have Eddie Adams. Is that you?
Yes.
Okay, I got you. All right, Mr. Adams. You are charged with 1 misdemeanor count of driving under the influence. I am going to set a bond of $4,000. 1 misdemeanor count of improper lane change. The bond is $500, and 1 misdemeanor count of open container. The bond is $500. So your total bond is $5,000. Okay.
All right.
Your next court date is going to be on June 13th, but if you bond out, you don't have to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
A court-appointed attorney.
Okay. All right, sir, do you have any questions about your case?
No, not right now.
Okay, all right, good luck to you, Mr. Adams.
Thank you.
Mhm. All right, what's your name?
Ronnie Allen.
All right, Mr. Allen. Mr. Allen, you were charged with, let me see, one misdemeanor count of stop sign violation, the bond is 500. One misdemeanor count of no license on person, the bond is 500, and then one felony charge of violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act. And the bond is $3,000. So your total bond is $4,000. Okay. You do have your next court date is on June the 14th, but if you bond out, you don't have to appear for that court date. You have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Hire.
I'm sorry?
Hire.
Oh, you want to hire your own attorney?
Yeah, but if not, I gotta back up. I already fit out the form.
Yeah, well, let me ask you this. Do you want me to just go ahead and appoint someone for you? And then if you hire them, they can come in. That way it doesn't slow your case down. I mean, it's up to you. I'll put hire your own attorney, but just because you fill out the form doesn't mean you have to stick with them. You can always go and hire someone. You want to do that?
Yes, sir, we can do that.
Okay. Okay. You gonna be able to make your bond?
Yeah, I just gotta make a call.
Okay, very good. Let's see. I'm looking at your application. I can't tell. Have you ever served in the military before or no?
No.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I had a clear answer to that. All right, Mr. Allen, do you have any questions about your case?
What is my next court date will be?
So the next court date, if you do not bond out, is June the 14th. But if you do bond out, I don't know. It'll be your arraignment date. It'll be months down the road.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Take them off. Yeah. You go. You go back. Come on. You. Come on. Say your name. Be loud and clear.
What's your name?
Arthur Lee Bell Jr.
Okay, I got you.
You go in there. Step to the side.
All right, Mr. Ballard, you are charged with one misdemeanor count of theft by shoplifting. The bond is $2,000. One misdemeanor count of criminal trespass, the bond is $2,000, and then one misdemeanor count of obstruction, the bond is $1,000. So your total bond is $5,000. Now, you're not allowed to go back to 8805 Terra Boulevard, which is that Quick Trip or QT location. Okay. I understand that you may be having some rough times and stuff, but just don't go back there. There's been too many incidences with you there. Okay. Find somewhere else to go. Make sure that you got everything that you're supposed to have and do things the right way. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're clear because I don't want to see you back here again, because if you come back, there's a very high probability that you're not leaving. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you want to, your next court date is going to be on June the 13th. Do you want to hire your own attorney or do you want to have a court appointed attorney?
I'll get back with you.
Well, I'm going to appoint an attorney for you because it looks like you need one.
Yeah, I'll probably get one. I might get one.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Do you have any questions about your case? Okay. All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Ballard.
Oh, excuse me.
Yep.
So when I supposed to leave?
I'm sorry.
When I supposed to leave?
Well, you got to post your bond first.
How much is?
5,000. All right. All right, what's your name, sir?
Christopher Battle.
All right, Mr. Battle. You were charged with one count of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, which is a felony. I am going to grant a bond of $3,000. Your next court date is on June the 14th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I'd like to be appointed one, sir.
Okay. I will do that for you. This one, I'm not gonna lie, Mr. Battle, I struggled with it for a while, but then just so you understand, I don't have to have proof beyond a reasonable doubt. It's only probable cause, and there was just enough information for this to meet the threshold. So I don't know, it's very weird because don't really know the facts and circumstances of how this came out, and I don't want to ask you about it because then you're going to be giving away your defense. But I'm sure you'll have a very fruitful conversation with your attorney and look to strategize on how to address these charges. So don't say anything about that, okay? But do you have any questions about your case?
Yes, sir. When you say my court date is 16th?
No, it'll be on June the 14th. But if you bond out, don't go to that court date. You'll get another court date in the mail months down the line, okay?
Okay, sir.
All right. Do you have any other questions?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Battle. Good luck to you. Don't come back.
Yes, sir. Next, you go to your house. Yeah, you. Oh, you, man, come on, come on. No. Here you go.
All right. What's your name, sir?
Jeffrey Donnell.
All right, Mr. Donnell. You were charged with one misdemeanor count of criminal trespass. The bond is $2,000, and one misdemeanor count of obstruction. The bond is $1,000. So your total bond is $3,000. Also, do not go back to 8550 Highway 85, the food mart. Don't go back to that location, okay?
So,
Your next court date is going to be on June the 13th.
okay.
But if you bond out, you don't have to go to that court date. You have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court appointed because I don't have no money.
Okay, I got you. Have you ever served in the military before?
No, sir.
Okay. I'm going to put on here that you agreed on Zoom for a court-appointed attorney.
I'm trying to figure out how long am I going to be in jail, man, because I'm going to see if I could do like weekend jail maybe.
Well, I don't get to address that here, so you're gonna have to talk to a different judge. Unfortunately, I'm very limited in what I can do and what I can say and things like that. Okay,
Right.
but just discuss it with your attorney. I'm gonna grant that request. Do you have any other questions?
I need medical attention, man. I got a dislocated arm. Try to.
All right, we'll address that, sir.
Well, again, you're gonna have to talk to the sheriff's department. I can only address what I spoke about. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Good luck to you.
Come on, sir. Next. Say that. You go back.
Reginald Ford.
All right, Mr. Ford.
Slide down.
All right, Mr. Ford, you were charged with one count
Slide down.
of false imprisonment. That's a felony. The bond is going to be $4,000, and one count of criminal trespass, which is a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be $2,000. Okay, so your total bond is $6,000. Now, you do have some special conditions of your bond. Do not have any contact with Bianca Johnson. Now, I'm sure you heard what I said before, but if you violate your bond, you could potentially have this bond revoked and catch new charges, and the judge is going to be very unlikely to grant you a bond. Also, do not return back to 1907 Summerwind Drive in Jonesboro. Now, I'm looking at your application here, and it looks like that's where you reside. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I'm putting in your bond paperwork that you're allowed to go back there and get anything that you need to get there until your case is either resolved or your bond conditions are changed. However, you have to go through the sheriff's department so they can go with you so you can get your stuff, okay? You just can't go there and say, hey, the judge said I could come here. Here's my paper. Give me my stuff. Because I don't want any problems for you, and I don't want any problems from Ms. Johnson. I don't want any problems for your neighbors or anything like that. So you just have to make sure that you do it the legal way. All right. But I'm putting in here that you can go back and get your stuff. Just make sure you do it with the sheriff's department so they can make sure that nobody gets in any more trouble. Now, your next court date is going to be on June the 14th, but if you bond out, you don't have to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I'm court appointed.
Okay. All right, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions about your case?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Ford, good luck to you, sir.
Next.
All right, what's your name?
Shabral Humphrey.
All right, Mr. Humphrey. You are charged with expired tag, misdemeanor, the bond is 500. Looks like misdemeanor marijuana, the bond is 1,500, and then use of drug related objects, the bond is 1,000. So your total bond is $3,000. Okay. I'm sorry.
All right.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Your next court date is on June 13th, but if you bond out, you do not have to appear for that court date. You'll get another one in the mail. Okay.
All
You
right.
do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court appointed, please.
Okay, I will grant that request for you, Mr. Humphrey. Do you have any questions about your case?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, good luck to you, Mr. Humphrey.
All right, you too.
Next. Why get up? No, don't come. Lie down, sir.
All right, what's your name?
Vaughn Johnson.
Okay. Mr. Johnson. I remember this. Mr. Johnson, I am going to dismiss the charge against you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I don't see that there's enough evidence here for the case to continue based on what you were originally charged with. Okay.
Yes,
Now, maybe these charges come back, maybe they don't. I don't know. I can't tell you, but just the information that I have, I don't believe it meets the legal threshold. Okay.
Okay.
So as long as you don't have anything else that's holding you, just let us process the paperwork and then you'll be good to go. Now, I will say this, obviously something happened because the police got involved. So I would say just, be very cautious in what you do next because we don't want any more problems for you. We don't want any more problems with anybody that you're dealing with. We don't want any problems from this particular location. Okay. So, let me see here, 1991, 23 plus 9. Okay. You're in your 30s. Just make sure you act like an adult, be chill. If you find yourself in a situation where you're getting angry or people are bothering you, just leave the situation and make sure that the police don't have to come back out there. Okay.
Sir.
All right. Do you have any other questions?
No, sir.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Vaughn, or I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson. Don't come back.
All right. Thank you.
Uh-huh. All right. What's your name?
Christopher Murdoch.
Okay. Just a second. We gave you me out of order, but that's all right. We're gonna make this work. All right. All right, Mr. Murdoch. I represented a Mr. Murdoch several years ago, but you do not appear to be him. I've never represented you, correct?
No, sir. I'm new to Georgia. I've only been here a few hours.
Okay, I understand. Very good. Well, it looks like you haven't had a great experience, but you know, just let this play out and then you'll be all right, okay? All right, sir, you're charged with 1 count of drunk and influence misdemeanor. The bond is $3,000. 1 misdemeanor count of no proof of license, the bond is $500. And then 1 parking violation, the bond is $500. So your total bond is $4,000. You're gonna be able to make that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good.
I can the 10% or whatever to the bondsman. Or-
Yeah, it's typically 10 to 20%. Again, that's not the law. That's just kind of my experience
Yes, sir.
in
I
this
can
area.
give somebody a call to bring my money up here.
I got you. Okay. Let's see. Your next court date is going to be on June the 13th, but when you bond out, you won't have to appear for that particular court date. Okay. Just make sure whatever address that you have on file, it looks like you live out of state. Just make sure that somebody has a good address for you. So when you get your notice in the mail, okay?
Okay.
All right. Very good. Let's see here. You do have the right to hire your own attorney, or you can be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court appointed.
Okay, and then it looks like here you did serve in the military, so I'm just going to put that on your application. We have a special program for people who have served in the military before. Now, I don't know what or anything of how that works, but you've heard me ask that question. So I like to mark it so they know, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Murdoch, do you have any questions?
No, sir. It's just 4,000. No, sir.
Yep. Okay. All right, Mr. Murdoch. Well, good luck to you and just don't come back to Georgia under these circumstances, okay?
Well, for sure. Thank you so much, sir.
All right, no problem. Have a good one.
Next. Go back.
All right, what's your name?
Mason, James Mason.
All right. Y'all are coming all out of order. Can I get Moats? Mr. Mason, give me just a second because I got the paperwork in a certain order. Let me get Moats.
What do you mean order? Alphabetical order.
Mason, right? Yeah. What's your last
I know. Y'all probably have them in order, but the way they came to me is a little bit different. I'm sorry. All right. Are you Mr. Moats?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Moats, you are charged with one. Let me see. All right, this is a 1 felony count of theft by taking. I am going to set a bond at $5,000. You do have a special condition to not return back to the Howard Johnson at 1551 Phoenix Boulevard, okay? Your next court date is going to be on June the 14th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Do what now?
You have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court appointed.
Okay. And have you ever served in the military?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, I am going to grant that request. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. Good luck to you, Mr. Moats.
Next.
Should be Mason.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, Mr. Mason. Just wanted to get that last gentleman out of the way. All right, Mr. Mason. I've got to reprint your bond paperwork because I got it messed up a little bit, but I know where I'm going. All right, sir. Looks like you are charged with, I think all of these are misdemeanor offenses. I just need to check the VGCSA charge.
CS 194 on the side.
Well, what did I write on here? Did I write on 613? Yeah, so it looks like they're all misdemeanors. One count of driving on a suspended or revoked license, the bond is $1,500. One count of improper turn, the bond is $500. No tail lights, the bond is $500. Obstruction, the bond is $1,000. Failure to yield to an emergency vehicle, the bond is $500. Another failure to yield to an emergency vehicle, the bond is $500. And then possession of marijuana less than an ounce, the bond is $1,500. So your total bond is 15, that's 2,000, 25, 35, 4, 5, 6. So your total bond is $6,000. Okay. Your next court date is on June the 13th, but if you bond out, you don't have to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court appointed.
Okay.
CS1 main court holder side. You said 6,000, right?
Correct. All right. Do you have any questions about your case?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Mason.
Come on, sir.
You got it. You got it.
Oh, right. Come on, yeah, you.
Come on, man. Hey, how can I make a call when I get down there? How do you get out? You should.
Say your name.
Simone, please.
You're Mr. McLean?
Sir.
All right. All right, sir, you are charged with one misdemeanor count of theft by shoplifting. The bond is going to be $2,000, and then one misdemeanor count of simple battery. The bond is going to be $3,000. So your total bond is $5,000. You are to stay away from Aditya, Charangia, and then the Lucky Food Mart. So just don't go back to that location. All right. I'm sure you don't even know who that person is, but just stay away from her, stay away from that place altogether. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next court date is going to be on June the 13th for a preliminary hearing if you do not bond out. If you do bond out, you don't have to appear for that particular court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Can I have a lecturer and whole attorney, please?
Okay. I'm assuming that you're familiar with them.
Yes, sir.
I got you. Okay. Have you ever served in the military before?
I have family, yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions?
No, sir, thank you.
All right.
This way. Well. Say your name.
Keon Shinkberg.
All right. Give me just a moment, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, give me your name one more time.
Keon Shinkberg.
Okay. Oh, it's you and your brother, right?
And my mother.
Yeah, I dismissed the case against your mom.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know if you guys had heard that, but I mean, I was going to tell you anyway.
No, sir, I didn't. I was inside the cell.
I got you. I got you. Give me just a second. I'm just getting your paperwork together. Okay. All right, so you were charged with one misdemeanor count of obstruction. I dismissed it. You basically charged with the same thing your mom was. I dismissed it against her because I don't know if she actually knew what was going on. You're in a little bit of a different situation. I almost dismissed it, but there's barely enough to get over that hump for me. I'm not saying that you're guilty or not guilty, but I just need probable cause. So I set the bond as low as I could at $1,000. Okay. Your next court date is going to be on June the 13th. Okay.
Yes,
But if you bond out, you don't have to appear for that particular court date. you do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
You can appoint me an attorney for now, and if I hire one, we can go through the process.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. These things usually work themselves out,
Yes, sir.
but hopefully, let me see. Wait a minute. What's the age difference between you and your brother?
2 years.
Who's the older one?
He is.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully, sir, this kind of serves as just like a lesson to you. All right.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir, and don't come back.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Maybe no, make yourself. Yo, hey,
Oh, shit.
make yourself.
All right. What's your name?
Don Rody, Shinka Bears.
Okay. Did you hear what I just told your brother or no?
For the most part, yes, sir.
Okay. I dismissed the case against your mom.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I'm just doing my job.
If it benefits my mother, I appreciate it.
I hear you. Well, I told her, I said, looks like you had a couple people trying to help you out, and then they kind of dug themselves into a hole, but it happens. I mean, I get it. Family's family. But anyway, you were charged with one misdemeanor count of driving on suspended license. The bond is $1,500. One misdemeanor count of improper lane change, and then one misdemeanor count of hit and run. The bond is $2,000. So your total bond is $4,000. Okay. Your next court date is on June the 13th. But if you bond out, you do not have to appear for that court date. Now, my reading of this, you may have things going on other places. I don't know if that's true or not, but if you have a hold somewhere else, they may come and get you before, they may come get you afterwards. I don't really know. I can't tell you how logistically it'll play out. But your next court date here is going to be on June 13th if you're still in custody. Now, you do have the right to hire your own attorney or have one be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I'll take the court appointed. Your Honor, may I ask you a question?
Yep, give me just a second, okay? Let me go through this and then I'll give you an opportunity to ask questions.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, I'm going to grant that request. Okay, what's your question?
I also had, it was a failure to appear also in Clayton County. That I'm also, did you get to that yet? Or was that also?
So the way that works is, again, and I didn't know if it was Clayton County or somewhere else. So if you bond out on these charges, you're still going to stay in custody until you address your failure to appear. Now that could be, what's today, Sunday? That could be tomorrow. It could be Tuesday. I don't know. I'm only in magistrate court. I don't know if it's out of state. I don't know if it's state court or superior court that you had the FTA. But once you address that and you've already paid your bond, then you're good to go. Or you can just wait to address your FTA, and then once that's done, then you can go and bond out. It really just depends on how you want to do it, okay?
Got you.
All right. But also, I told your brother, hopefully this is a lesson for him and a lesson for your mom. You know, listen, man, you're still really young. Obviously, your mother cares for you and your brother cares for you. Don't do this to them. You know what I'm saying? They both got locked up. Don't do that to them. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely not the circumstance I was.
You got people willing to go to jail for you. That's crazy. There's a lot of things that I'll do for people, but very few that I'm willing to do that for. You know what I mean? And so, you know, man, hey, act like a grown up, get your stuff together, make your mom proud, give an example to your younger brother, and don't come back. All right.
I got you.
All right. Good luck, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. What's your name?
Lamar Smith.
All right, Mr. Smith. Hold on a second, Mr. Smith. Just because I've been sitting on this one for a while, do we have Corey Shand? Let me get Shand.
Corey
Shand.
Yeah.
Shand. Yeah. Let me get him because his paperwork's been at the top and I keep having to rearrange it. All right, are you Mr. Shand?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Shand, you were charged with one misdemeanor count of simple assault. The bond is 1,000. One misdemeanor simple battery charge, the bond is 3,000. So your total bond is $4,000. You do have special conditions to stay away from Miss Chinyere Isachukwu, okay? And do not return back to 4905 Highway 85, Building 505 in College Park. Now, I understand that you may have some belongings there. That's fine. I put in your bond work that you can go back to that location, but you have to take the sheriff's department with you. They know how to do it, okay? So if you need to get some stuff, if you got paperwork or possessions or whatever at that location, just make sure you do it through the sheriff's department, okay?
Okay.
Your next court date is going to be on June the 13th, but if you bond out, you do not have to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I'm not really from Clayton County at all.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Do you have money to pay for an attorney?
I have none because I never came here with any money.
Okay. Well, then I am going to appoint an attorney for you, okay? So you don't have to worry about that. Do you have any other questions?
Yes, I have a question. I have nowhere. I live in Stone Mountain. Like I used to live in Stone Mountain and I got kicked out because I was adopted. And my mom was really abusive and stuff like that. I was adopted and she kicked me out because I wanted to go to school. And I was homeless for like a year on the streets.
So what's your question?
Question, sir.
I never did anything wrong, is what I'm trying to say.
All right, there's not a place for it.
Yeah, that's not a question. I can't address that for you, okay?
So,
But you can speak to an attorney about that, okay?
okay, so how long am I gonna wait for attorney?
I'm sorry?
How long am I gonna wait for attorney, sir?
That I can't tell you, but usually they'll reach out to you and let you know who they are, okay?
All right, how do I do this with no phone? Because really, I'm homeless. How do I go from homeless to being charged with something I don't?
Again, I can't, like, you need to speak to an attorney about that. I can't represent you. I can just address what's in front of me, okay?
Understand, sir.
All right, come on.
All right. Good luck to you.
You too.
All right, what's your name?
Lamar Smith.
All right, Mr. Smith, now we're back on track. All right, so you are charged with one count of simple battery, misdemeanor, the bond is 3,000. One count of cruelty to children in the third degree, the bond is 1,000. One count of criminal trespass, misdemeanor, the bond is 1,000. And one misdemeanor, make sure that the misdemeanor count. Yeah, one misdemeanor count of theft by taking the bond is 2,000. Total bond is $7,000, okay? Now, you do have special condition to not have any contact with Ashley Yarbrough, so don't have any contact with her until your case is either resolved or your bond conditions are changed. Also, this looks like where you stay. I can't let you go back to the 330 Arrowhead 46A address, but I'm putting in your bond paperwork that you can get your belongings, paperwork, possessions, whatever you want to get, you can go back and get it, but you just have to go through the sheriff's department to get it, okay?
Yeah.
I know that's inconvenient and
because that's my house. That's my house. So I put
yeah. Listen, I also when I came into this position, I also had those questions, and unfortunately, the law is very, very unfriendly, or it's very difficult. Let me put it that way. It's not unfriendly. It's very difficult, right? For someone in your position.
And I'm not from here, so I don't even know that shit like that. That I can't even put.
Hold on. Listen, remember what I said? I don't know if you heard me earlier, but like this is being recorded and it's being live streamed. So I don't want you to say anything that's going to affect your possible strategy moving forward. So I'm just saying this. I know that it sucks. I understand that. I get it. But I have to do my job just like you have a job to do. And sometimes people don't like it. Okay. But, hey, man, I'm doing everything that I can for you, right? I'm doing everything that I can possibly do for you. I'm not telling you this to get you riled up and make it more frustrating, but look, I have to follow the law. That's what I took an oath to do. So I say all that to say this. I'm giving you an opportunity to go back and get anything that you need. Now,
So I gotta clear the whole house out because I need.
no. Look, hear me out. Anything that you need from there, you can get it. But listen, what I would suggest to you is getting in touch with the, whether you want to, and we'll get here in a second, but you need to get with the attorney, whether it's the hired one or the one that's appointed, and get them to file a motion on your behalf. And they know how to do this, whether it's court appointed or privately retained. They know how to file motions to change the bond conditions, okay? And then they'll get it in front of another judge and they'll say, Mr. Smith lives here, he's a primary owner, this person doesn't, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then that judge will be able to consider it, but I can't. I just can't, okay? So as much as I would like to help people not you, but just people in your position, I can't do it. Okay, I got a job to do. Now, your next court date is going to be on June the 13th, but if you bond out, you do not have to appear for that particular court date. Now, as it relates to an attorney, do you have the right to hire your own or be considered for a court appointed attorney? What would you like to do? Okay.
And you said my bond was what again?
The total is 7,000. So somewhere between 10 and 20%. So 700 to 1,400 is about what a bonding company will charge. Okay. Now I'm not saying that, I'm not setting that in stone. I'm just giving you an example. I am going to grant your request for a court appointed attorney. Other than being displeased with this, and I get it, do you have any questions? And I try to give the information as friendly as I possibly can. And I understand your frustration, but unfortunately the law, judges don't have as much power as people think they do. I just have to do what I got to do, man, and keep the cases moving. All right.
Yeah.
All right. All right. What's your name?
Sergio Stearns.
All right.
You are there, Clayton. You need to make one call. Open up CS1, try to say on one. And you said, I'm my own house.
All right, sir. You are charged with 1 felony count of burglary. Let me see here. I am going to set a bond at 10,000. 1 misdemeanor count of peeping Tom. I'm setting a bond at 1,000. Simple assault misdemeanor. The bond is 3,000. Criminal trespass misdemeanor. The bond is 1,000. And then possession of a weapon during commission of a crime. The bond is 2,000. So the total bond is 5, 6, 7 plus 10 is 17,000. Okay. Now you do have some special conditions of your bond. Do not have any contact with Miss Gabriela Perez, and do not return back to the 825 Bryan Lane address in Forest Park. And it looks like on your application that shouldn't be a problem. You don't stay there. Your next court date is going to be on June the 14th. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Can you appoint one for me, Judge, please?
Sure. I will grant that request for you. Sir, do you have any question about your case?
No, sir. Can you just repeat that bond total?
Sure. On the burglary is 10,000. The peeping Tom, it's 1. Simple assault is 3. Criminal trespass is 1. And then the weapons charge is 2. So it's a total of 17,000. Okay. Now, in your situation, I don't know if you heard me say it, but just make sure you do not violate your bond of going back to that address and having any contact with Ms. Perez. That means Instagram, Kik, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, smoke signal, carrier pigeon. Don't have your uncle's friend say, hey, Sergio said blah, blah, blah. Don't do it, because what will happen is she's gonna call the police. She's gonna do it. and then you're gonna get arrested, and then you're gonna pick up more charges, and then potentially you losing your bond on this one. So just make sure you keep that super, like she don't exist in your world, okay?
10-4, George.
All right, good luck to you, sir. Don't come back.
Next.
All right, what's your name?
Juwan Spratt.
All right, Mr. Spratt. All right, sir, you are charged with one count of violation, Georgia Controlled Substances Act, warrant ending 834. The bond is 3,000. Bond, same charge, warrant ending in 835. The bond is 3,000. Same charge, warrant ending in 836. The bond is 3,000. Possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, bond is 5,000. Seatbelt violation, the bond is 500. Failure to have headlights, the bond is misdemeanor, the bond is 1,000. And then no tail lights, misdemeanor, the bond is 500. So your total bond is 369 plus 5 is 14, 15, 16. Total bond is $16,000, okay? Your next court date is on June the 14th. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that particular court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Could you appoint me an attorney, sir?
Okay. I will do that. Have any questions about your case?
No, sir. You said the total bond was 16,000?
Yes, sir. That is right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you.
All right.
All right. Give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. I have to step off.
T-shirt.
I know that.
I'm over here. Is it? Is it? They're sleeping good. I said, you want to get that sleeping good? You worry about it.
Next, come
All
on.
right. We're back. Let's go. We only got a couple left. All right. What's your name?
Tyler Thomas.
All right, Mr. Thomas. All right, sir, you are charged with one felony count of burglary. Bond is 5,000, and then one felony count of theft by taking the bond is 5,000. So the total bond is going to be $10,000. You do have a special condition to not return back to 6311 Murphy Drive in Morrow. Next court date is going to be on, looks like June the 14th. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court appointed attorney, sir.
Okay. Let me make sure. All right, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions about your case?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, good luck to you.
Next.
All right, what's your name?
Ricky Tucker.
All right, Mr. Tucker, you are charged with one misdemeanor count of battery. The bond is 4,000. You do have special conditions of your bond to not have any contact with Jasmine Key. Also, do not return back to the 12092 JoJo Court address in Hampton. Now, it looks like that's where you have some belongings and things like that. So just like I told the other gentleman, you know, I'm restricted and I just have to follow the law and do what I have to do. So I am putting in your bond conditions that you're allowed to go back with the sheriff's department and get anything that you need to get out of that residence. Now, you can get with an attorney and have them file a motion, change the bond conditions, but until such time happens, you can't stay there and you can't have any contact with her. Okay. Now, your next court date is going to be on June the 13th. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. Let's see here. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for court appointed attorney, what would you like to do?
Court appointed attorney, please.
Okay. All right, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions about your case?
No.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Okay, man.
All right, what's your name, sir?
Devin Welch.
Okay, Mr. Welch. Oh, wait. Did this prematurely. Mr. Welch, you were charged with one count of possession of marijuana. Looks like misdemeanor. The bond is $1,500. Use or possession of drug-related objects. The bond is $1,500. Possession of a weapon during commission of a crime. The bond is $3,000. And then possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. I'm dismissing that. They didn't put any information about any prior conviction. I don't know what county. I don't know what state. I don't know what charge. I don't know when it was. I don't know anything. Now, remember what I said at the very beginning, so that charge could be brought back because all they had to do was just do a little bit of work and I would have put a bond on that charge, right? But they didn't, so I'm dismissing it. So that's a benefit to you, okay? But you know, I have to hold everybody accountable, law enforcement included. So anyway, your total bond looks like it's going to total $6,000, okay? Your next court date is going to be on June the 14th. Okay, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that particular court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court appointed.
Okay. All right, Mr. Welch, do you have any questions about your case?
No, sir, that's it.
Okay. All right. Well, it's just those 3 charges remaining on you. All right.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right. Good luck to you. That's all that I have.
Good to go. That's all, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I will get this paperwork scanned and sent over as quickly as possible. All right. Y'all have a good one.